Good afternoon.
Hello.
Come on in, Gino.
Well, how are you guys?
Well,
I pooped out.
Pooped out already?
yeah,
Not already,
we
still.
could have been better.
Really? But you feeling all right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been working so hard here, huh?
Well, we're trying to get
Here and
the house
there.
cleaned.
Yeah. So, can I ask you first a couple of questions about your house?
Of course.
Well, who is Tabor? On the front it says Tabor.
Yeah, he was a
He's
guy
the
who
guy who
lived
built
here.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, he was the builder? Yeah, I
Well,
see.
he-
1804
yeah.
or earlier.
He built a couple of houses, actually. This was one of them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And as far as you know, has it been restored and redone over?
No, we have worked very, very hard to keep it back and to put back. I'll give you a good example. When you have a house like this, you don't know what subsequent people have done. The kitchen floor is a great example. When we came in, it was all linoleum. And we asked the guy, because we knew him, who lived here, and he said, "What's under the linoleum?" He said, "I don't know, maybe cement, maybe dirt, a few other interesting things.
Interesting.
Tar paper." And when we took it all off, what do you think was under it? The original floor.
Well, the house was built probably between 1780 and 1790.
The 18
Now, when we bought the house in 72, changes were made through the years.
You sure?
You know, people lived here constantly, so they made changes.
But
So
fortunately, they
it's
didn't
not
wreck anything.
it's not the 17th century house.
In 1972, was this road two ways?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
Prior to that, it had been the other way, that way.
Oh,
But by 1972, it was what it is now,
okay. And this is India Street.
right?
Does anybody live year-round on this street anymore?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause somebody said that you might be the last people
No,
that
No,
stay.
that's not
No.
accurate.
The Kirks live here.
Carol does on and off.
Oh. Okay.
Carol lives here.
On and off.
So there are at least 3 families, maybe only 3.
On this entire block, yeah.
Yeah.
And in 1972, what was it like as a neighborhood?
There were definitely more people living on the Chases lived there.
And what's his name lived across the street.
Correct, Bob.
Did you
Yeah.
have a lot of hippies around then? I heard there were.
There were a lot of hippies around, but not here on India Street.
Oh, okay.
The hippies, you know where the Scrimshaw Artists now on Center Street?
Yeah.
The hippies opened a wonderful breakfast spot. Excellent.
In the basement there?
In the basement.
Oh.
And we used to occasionally have breakfast there when we visited
Oh.
on weekends.
Well, that would have been nice.
They lived out of town, I don't know where. Eventually all that disappeared.
Do you,
These houses have such
Absolutely.
interesting
Collecting.
histories because in those days they did the oddest things, and
I'm
I can
sorry.
physically show you something they did here.
they've
They never
moved it,
threw a
but we have
house
a lot
out.
of help here.
Now,
And
we have an
good help.
extension to this
It's
house,
a matter of
which was put on
making
afterwards,
decisions
that's
that
even
the other
older
people can't do
than
that.
this house.
We have to do
Somebody bought a house and probably said,
At the
"I can't
moment,
use
yes.
this back part. Anybody want this?" And somebody said, "Yeah, I can
Okay,
use it."
508.
So they bought it and they
325,
attached it. And we'll go upstairs and I'll show you why you know they attached it. The floor levels are different. But not only that, when you
Absolutely.
look up either side of the original house, you know, the
I see, and where
beams
are you now?
have a nice trim, they're painted and they have a beaded edge. And
But
right
you're
in
on
the
the
middle,
aisle.
where they had to
Oh,
open
good.
up the back to make an open doorway, it's wide open. The mortises are there. They never painted anything. They stuck the mortises right through. You'll see it.
so you're finally going to leave now. That's
We
the.
have to. We love the house. We lived in it 45 years. And we found that at our age, I'm 92, he's 93. We just couldn't physically do
It's
it.
amazing that you guys are
Well, we-
together so many years.
Well, we just
92.
couldn't do it anymore.
It's just too much house and too
Well,
physically.
physically. For one thing, I'm in quite good health otherwise, but last May, just a year ago, I fell in the kitchen and I broke my hip. So that's why I've got this.
Okay.
Mort has a lot of trouble walking. For him to walk from here to the front of the house hurts.
Okay.
So, you know, also, frankly, I got tired of cooking. I
Yeah.
cooked for 45, and I cooked in New York before that. You'll see when we go over later. It's a wonderful place to be.
When you bought this house, okay, what'd you pay for it?
61.
Okay.
Thousand.
And what is a house like this worth now?
Oh, a couple of million.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
I'll tell you a funny story about what these houses changed. We knew the woman who was the next descendant of the one I'm going to tell you about, but this was in about 1920, and the house at the head of the stairs, which is a similar house to this,
What do you mean the house at the head?
right at the head, when you dead end of India Street, right across the street.
Oh, okay, right there. Yeah.
Was a elderly woman who was very poor, because we know that her neighbors used to bring her soup and stuff like that. She had nothing to eat. I guess she died, and the bank took it over, and they had it up for auction. And the woman we're talking about was walking down the street, and she saw the crowd, and she said, "Oh, what's that?" And they said, "Well, the house is being auctioned." Well, she never thought about buying a house, but she wandered over, and she got interested, and she put her hand up after a while, and she got the house for $8,000.
That one right there.
That one. It went for $2 million something 2 years ago.
It would have been worth probably $3 million now,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
In 2 years, it's gone up
Probably.
that much.
Probably because...
Now, are you sorry that maybe you didn't sell sooner?
No, we loved the house. We hated to get out.
But you knew that you had millions after.
Well,
When did you actually realize that your $60,000 investment was now worth over $1 million?
I never really...
Did you ever think about it?
No, not that way. Not that way. It hurt to give up the house. I loved it.
Yeah.
We did all this work out of love for the house.
Sure.
But you come to a point in life where you realize that you just have to do certain things. And at that time, when Mort said, "We're really going to have to move," I said, "The only other place I'm willing to go is to the Commons." I had friends who lived there. I had eaten there many times, particularly. Did you know Phyllis Perlman at all?
I don't know.
Well,
Sounds familiar, though.
Her sheriff is his son.
Oh,
her son.
that's probably
she
why,
was
of
my
course.
she was my best friend, so
Oh.
I know Jimmy since
Since he was a little baby.
yeah, and she lived there, and we used to eat with her maybe once a week, so we knew what the
You
food
knew,
was like.
okay.
And it's still that good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's good.
Typical.
Now,
Yes.
let me just do a little bit here.
Absolutely. I've been packing up a lot of my books. When we go upstairs, you'll see them. A lot of them in the other are in the
Well, you can't really take all these things with you, right? I mean, you don't have the room.
No.
Why don't you have a flea sale or something like that? Or
Well, we
Yeah.
have what's out here, for instance. This is all stuff that Howard wants to put in the shop.
the Antiques Depot. Let's give him a plug.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Good friend, Jack Fritsch, who was his
Sure.
partner.
Yep.
Wonderful appraiser. They're both good friends.
Yep.
This is the front parlor. Every room in this house has a fireplace. We have 7 fireplaces, which is a lot because there's one in the attic too.
Do they all work?
All work. And we have all this paneling. This is what is original to the house. Now, what's really interesting, I had an idea, the old filmmaker in my head, that if you took a shot of this and I dug out some pictures of when it was furnished, and maybe we dissolve
Sure. I'll
one
show it.
to the other.
Sure.
These are all working fireplaces and original paneling and original flooring.
This is a funny place, Nantucket, today.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen the changes.
Oh.
I mean, is this kind of house still desirable, or is it just the
It's
location?
No, the location's important, but it's desirable to somebody like us who's interested in an early house that hasn't been wrecked. I mean, there are people who are. I mean, we were one when we came.
Would you sell it to anybody?
Well, that's a real problem. It depends on what they want to do to it.
I see. Because you always, I know this about you, and the people that are watching are going to learn, but you've always been very adamant about
Yes.
your
Yeah, I wouldn't.
the seriousness
Yeah.
of maintaining historical a
Definitely.
home inside and out.
Well, we've always been involved in that.
Yeah.
So it would depend on who it was. Now, somebody came and looked at the house the other day who's the friend of a friend, and she was very interested in, she said the house she thought was beautiful. Her husband has to see it. We'll see. But that's the kind of person we're looking for.
I catch you.
Now, the agents for the house are the Killens. The Killens are old friends of ours. When we bought the house, Debbie and I bought that house right in 1972. They were our favorites, our neighbors then, and they're still good friends. So when we thought of it, they were the only
So if
agents.
anybody's interested, call Killen
yeah,
Real Estate, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I can do it. Now, actually, my wonderful, wonderful physical therapist says the best exercise I can do is going up the stairs. And I said, well, how about down the stairs? She said, that's even better.
Oh, good.
We left these here simply for somebody who buys a house. Now, this is the house maybe in 1860. Then they Victorianized it. Terrible, isn't it?
They put a porch on the side of it.
Well, actually, that's my herb garden.
Oh.
And that's where the bicycle rentals, that was across the street.
Oh, okay.
Well, somebody who owed the people who lived here some money, and he said, I just don't have the money. I'll give you my 2 bikes. And the guy said, what am I going to do with 2 bikes? I'll rent them out. Became the biggest rental bicycle business on the East Coast, right in here. Mort, we're just going to look at the bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really great house.
It's a wonderful house.
And it's really straight and strong.
Now, let me tell you something about the foundation. An 18th century house must have what they call a cool cellar. It's not a regular cellar. You go down the stairs, and it's got a dirt floor. It's got a window in one corner, and it's on the north corner. And when we first bought the house, I thought, on the north corner with a window. It turns out that you must do it on the north side. You must do it in the corner, and it has to have a window. And that's where they dried potatoes, apples, everything else for the winter. And we still have it.